Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the leg out of the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you just feel like being a lurker and you don't want to say anything at all, well, go ahead and just lurk. That's also okay. We are currently at, boom, 22 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. When we hit 30 subscribers, I shut up about the number of subscribers I have. Lashbrook's here. Hello, Lashbrook. Also, if we happen to be at 30 subscribers in a month and a few days, then just like a month and half a week, then it'll unlock some cool stuff on my birthday subathon, June 23rd, starting at 3:30 p.m. Asterisk. I might have to do that stream late or not on that Tuesday. I don't know. Let's go to the overhead camera. I'll talk about it. Overhead camera, you can see we're working on some stuff here for the B packs. We did all of this on Saturday after we finished the kit. I've got it on a stand. I did the stand on my own time because I wanted to get it done. And because these B packs are so big, we get the triple stand here, which is pretty cool. Got the triple stand. We'll just put that there so you can see it. Towering. It's so tall. It's like two marker. It's like a marker and 3/4 tall. It's pretty big. Pretty big. Okay, so you're saying, so Pat, what do you mean you might not be able to do your birthday subathon on your actual birthday that Tuesday? You've been talking about it. Like, what's going on? I got summoned for jury duty that Monday, the day before that I want to do my birthday subathon. Now, for my county, the idea is that I will go in and I will find out if there is a jury to put me on, and then we'll see if I get put on a jury. And that Monday, a couple hours after that, I might get told, come back tomorrow. You're on a jury. I might get told, call tomorrow. We think this isn't going to go to trial. I might get told, come back tomorrow. We'll see if we'll put you on something else as an alternate. Or I might get told, thank you for your service. We're going to send you a letter in 2 years. I don't know what's going to happen. Those are the possibilities. And so I just have to kind of see what happens with it. How do I put this? I am not going to say, I am not going to, you mean you can't get excused by saying, come on, I'm just a little guy, it's my birthday? So Lashbrook, when being questioned about possibly being put on a jury, I could say, tomorrow is my 46th birthday, I don't want to be here. I don't think that's going to happen. I could say, I have a work scheduled, which is technically true, but that's not going to fly. I might just say, well, I work a bunch of freelance gigs. I spent 20 years living in New York City. I'm a Democrat in South Carolina. And I have a pointed opinion on law enforcement. I could say that stuff. I'm not going to try to get kicked off of out of the jury pool. I'm not going to make any grand attempts like that. I'm not out here to do that. However, I will be honest. The one time I got picked for jury duty, Lord Christ says, was so annoying since it required to call in every day during specific hours to listen to a voice recording that told me to call again the next day. Eventually got one a few weeks later telling me I was done. So I, shortly after I turned 18, I did get summoned for jury duty in Connecticut. but I was in school at the time. So I deferred. And then I got called and I said, well, I don't live in Connecticut anymore. And they were like, okay, if you don't register, we'll defer you again and we'll cancel it if you actually register with the state of New York. And if you don't register with the state of New York, we're going to call you again. I did register the state of New York. They didn't call me for a very long time. Eventually, New York City was like, okay, you have to do jury duty. And in fact, you have to do grand jury. And I've talked about this before, I believe, that I was summoned. Grand jury, different from regular juries, in that when you get summoned for grand jury, there is basically no way out of it. You are doing it. You are involved. It is happening for you. And it is generally, it's supposed to be that you work like every day for like a month, every weekday for like a month, and then you are done for many years, which is great. It sucks for the people that like would have rather gotten a regular trial that might not even have gone to court or got dismissed or got whatever. I'll say this, there was one person that got out of it very early. I was going to say month long. Yeah. There was one person that got out of it very early because she was like, well, I'm pregnant. And they were like, well, how soon? And she was like, a couple months. And then eventually she was like, travel. My doctor has a note saying I shouldn't be traveling by subway, which is the only way I can get here. And they were like, yeah, all right, you can get out of here. And then they made an alternate part of the jury. Now, generally, grand jury is a thing where you see cases, right? And you just decide, is there enough evidence for this to go to trial? And then you vote on if there's enough evidence for it to go to trial. You go there, and we couldn't use our phones during it, of course, but you could use them at free break periods where you could go and you go off and hang out on your break. And I brought my laptop for lunch. We had a lunch break every day. I worked nights, so I didn't have to take time off of work. So that meant that I did take a couple days off, but most of the time what ended up happening was I would go and do it from 9 to 4 or whatever, and then I would go to work, and it sucked. The other thing is you're supposed to see a bunch of cases. And so you should be able to leave early. Because some days there won't be a lot of cases to present to you. We didn't have that. There was a big case that was happening. We did see 3 cases, 2 of which were favors. We were doing favors to other DAs. One because the witness, the major witness, like lived in another state, so they wanted to like put pressure on the guy to confess. And the other one was I can't remember what it was. It was something to do with the defendant being expedite. They wanted to expedite it, so we did that as a favor to another DA. But for the most part, we just met with a DA on one long big conspiracy case to see if it should go to trial, because we had to do like, okay, what about this charge? Okay, here's the evidence. And do you think they have enough evidence for this? And we had to go through the whole thing, and it was a bummer. And then the way things end is, at a certain point, someone has to come back and sign an affidavit that this resulted the way we said it was going to result, right? Yes, and you just say yes. And you can take notes, of course, and bring the notes. Well, the person at the top, that person was in law enforcement and definitely couldn't take any more time off. The second person, they had a child. They lost money doing this. Please don't make them. So let's get the third person to come do that. That's me. So I had to go back And remind you, there are three documents I have to sign. They tell me there are 3 documents you have to sign, and then you're good. I show up the first week. There's 1 document that I have to sign, and they're like, "Okay, come back next week for the other ones." And I'm like, "Okay, oops, I did this one wrong. I gotta fix this." And I come back the next week, and there's nothing for me to sign, and they're like, "Come back the next week." And so I come back the 3rd week. And mind you, they're going to pay me for an hour, but I have to travel, and I finally got my days back, but I have to do this. And so I come back the next week, and I say, "Hey, I think at least one of these didn't go to trial." And she went, "Oh, yeah, well, you wouldn't have to sign anything if it didn't go to trial. Let me check." And the other 2 documents that I wanted to sign, they didn't exist. So I went there 2 times for no reason. I should have just gone the 1 week, and they should have said, "Okay, you're done." And they didn't. They would have paid me to go either way, and it was basically nothing. It was just me doing my due diligence, because I didn't want... What I didn't want was for them to invalidate all the time I had spent there on the grand jury. It was interesting. I'll say that. The grand jury stuff was interesting. Not going to pretend it wasn't interesting, but I'd never want to do that again. So my hope is on June 22nd, I will be there at 9 a.m., and they will hopefully, after a couple hours, release me, and I will have done my due diligence and done my duty and shown up and not gotten assigned a trial. The right below that on the things that Pat is hoping for is option B, that I do get assigned to a trial, and then find out on Tuesday when I call in that trial has been settled, and that there is nothing happening, or dismissed, or something, which is the second one. And below that is, as far as good options go, is actually we don't really have a lot of cases this week, so we're going to reassign you a later date, right? Then I have to come back. That sucks. 2 and 3 are basically both like in the moment. 2 is like, oh, okay. And 3 is like, fine. And of course, the 4th possibility is the worst one, which is that I get assigned some kind of trial and I have to keep showing up for it. In which case I would, it really fucks up my life, and also fucks up my parents' lives, and would fuck up my stream on my birthday. I'll say this, folks. I don't want to be in court on my birthday. I don't want to be in court at all, but I certainly don't want to be in a court on my birthday. So it stinks. It stinks. I'm not thrilled. But anyway, I have to plan for my birthday subathon to happen, and then I can cancel it if I need to. But I have to plan for it to be happening and going through. I need to, for my own kind of like mental, whatever. I do need to say, okay, this is happening. I need to plan for it. I need to look forward to it. And then if I have to be disappointed, I'll be disappointed in rescheduling. I don't want to reschedule. I don't want to do it a different day. I want to do it that Tuesday. We'll fucking see what happens. I wanted to talk about Steam and adding in new tags. Steam has added 17 new tags to the Steam store. So these are, you can tag things, you as somebody who is reviewing a game or leaving, whatever, or the game developer can tag a game into certain categories, and you can look up stuff from those categories. I think it's pretty neat that exists, and you can do that. The reason why this is news is, one, fake OS didn't get added to the list, and so some people are very mad about that because they have been campaigning for fake OS to end up on the list, which it has not. So that kind of made a little bit of news with some devs who were upset about that have been campaigning for that. The real reason why this is news is that they have added a tag for games that are like Vampire Survivors, which some people have referred to as survivor games. They are now classified as bullet heavens. Or ass games. People also like to call assisted ass games. But yeah, they're bullet heavens. Now you might say to yourself, I will never call it that, Pat. I will never refer to those as bullet heaven games. And you are well within your rights to never want to do that. If you don't ever want to do that, you don't have to. Nobody is making you do that. But that is what they are going to be categorized going forward on Steam. They have reasons for this. The opposite of bullet hell focuses on upgrades will automatically attack hordes of enemies. The automatically attacking system thing was the thing that people were pushing. Yeah, you'll never get me to stop calling them ass games. Yes, Lashbrook. Indeed. But there are other ones, and some of these I think are interesting, and also they remove some tags, and we'll talk about that. Desktop companion, games that only use part of your screen and keep company while you do other things. Okay. Organizing games, tidy up, declutter, or unpack. Cleaning games, decorating games. Wushu, historical fantasy adventure stuff with martial arts. And oh man, I don't know how to pronounce this one. So there's Wushu, which is the historical Chinese stuff, and then there's I think it's Xingshang. Ooh, that sounds like I'm sorry. It's with X's, and I think the first one is Shin, and it does sound like I'm just trying to say random Chinese vowels, so I apologize for that. The other one, which is about supernatural powers, is the other Chinese subgenre. Espionage, samurai, zoo, wolves and capybaras and animals are all now tags. There are enough capybara games out there, apparently, that tagging them makes sense. I think I own 2. So that does check out, to me anyway. Because like I said, I think I own 2. Yes, good news for capybara games, yeah. Cult, poker, and language learning, which I think is that's good to have there. I'm surprised poker wasn't already a tag. It feels like that's a tag that should have existed, but probably like card games or something was already in there. Maybe, I don't know. But that does seem odd to me that was not already a category. And then they took out some tags. America, no longer a tag. Crowdfunded and Kickstarter are no longer tags, which is interesting. Dungeons and Dragons, Games Workshop, and Warhammer 40K are no longer tags. My assumption is that people were tagging things, probably from Blatro, maybe Crazy Coot. But my guess is that people were probably tagging things as like Dungeons and Dragons like, instead of tagging them as, oh yeah, this is actually a Dungeons and Dragons game. And so that is my assumption. I don't have any basis for that other than, again, my assumption as to why that's suddenly not a category. I don't know how this piece is supposed to go in. Probably go like that. Oh, okay. And then this goes like that. Got it. And these can all move around. Great. Lego, no longer a category. Foreign, and no longer a category, which is weird. RPG Maker, Roguevania. Yes, genre versus trademark, indeed. Kook. Not safe for work is no longer a category, which is interesting. We'll see if that becomes something else in the future. And then some well-written is no longer there because that is subjective. So some of these were like taken out because they are subjective and not, and that is not something that Steam wants as a in there. Conversation became dialogue heavy. Clicker is now called incremental to capture the broader essence of games that focus on numbers going up. We made a few new tags plural: dogs, foxes, vampires, elves, dwarves, and assassins. So this one's fun. People were tagging games that contained a swimming pool as pool. And so now they've changed pool to be billiards, which is now probably the better term anyway. Incremental is better because people use clicker for adventure games and other non-clickers. Indeed, Lord Crashington. So now it's incremental games. Jet used to be a tag, and now it's just part of. It's no longer a tag. Now it's just part of. What do you call it? Flight. And unforgiving is now merged with difficult, and those overlap in usage and intent. Masterpiece is gone. Cult classic and well written, which were all considered too subjective. Apparently there was a list of like over 1,000 games that were described as masterpieces. So yeah, that went away. It was interesting. I found that to be pretty interesting myself. Some of these tags, and again, as I said, fake OS did not make the cut. They were pushing for it. It did not happen. I don't really have a strong or negative opinion on if they've been robbed or what. I think that is a kind of a cool tag to click on and see games that have a fake OS, but I think I'm okay because I don't really click on tags too much myself. 21. Excuse me. I'm yawning, and that is unprofessional of me, so I must apologize for the yawning. Tom Kane passed away. Many people will know Tom Kane, probably more for his voice acting. Professor Uranium, the Professor on Powerpuff Girls, is maybe his most famous voiceover work. Tom Kane passed away at the age of 64 after a stroke in 2021. He retired, but he was a veteran voice actor. His list of credits are unbelievable, but he also worked in video games. 1995, he did some voices for Power Move Pro Wrestling. That was his first game, and it was an Activision game that is okay. He is probably best known outside of like Professor Uranium and also him. He also voiced him on Powerpuff Girls. You probably didn't know he was doing it, but for the last several decades, he's been the voice of Yoda. He took over the voice of Yoda in video games, and that led over when Disney got the rights to, or bought the rights to Star Wars, he became the guy. Also C-3PO, he was the voice of for many, many years. Again, took on those roles when needed. Yeah, his first one was Clone Wars. But he did stuff in Star Wars X-Wing and versus TIE Fighter and Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. He was fairly recently, one of his last roles was in Ghost of Tsushima. And I don't know what role he had. I saw the photo Tara Strong took with him and the Powerpuff Girls from Comic-Con. Oh, nice. That's fun. Galactic Productions put out a thing on Facebook about it. I did mention that he did work in a bunch of Marvel stuff. He was sometimes the voice of Magneto, sometimes the voice of Ultron. He had a reoccurring role as a character in the zombie mode in Black Ops. And I don't know what he did in that because I don't pay attention to Black Ops. But he did have a reoccurring role in that, which I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then one thing I did find very nice to hear is that Galactic Productions, again, this Facebook post about it, listed that he is survived by his wife and 9 children. 6 of their 9 children were welcomed through adoption and fostering. And that is the measure of a man, for certain. That's quite remarkable. Yeah, it was just seems like, by all accounts, a real good one. The Moby Games list page again starts in 1995 with Power Move Pro Wrestling. He was the ring announcer. Did a bunch of Star Wars stuff, as I said. Curse of Monkey Island, Grim. It's Raoul. He was Raoul in Grim Fandango. It's just like, that hits me. Lots of Star Wars. Various roles in Escape from Monkey Island, small stuff in Escape from Monkey Island. He was Bagel, one of the bar characters there. He was a slightly reoccurring character in Powerpuff Girls is the talking dog. It's just a dog that also talks, and that was also him. I was like, oh hell yeah, that's a fun bit. Good reoccurring. But yeah, lots of stuff was also in of course, the video game. Lots of additional voices, just like a prolific talent, just someone that worked like early and often. Let's see. I want to see. And again, the Dark Eye. Apparently, even though he did retire, a game that he worked on early was before his passing. It came out, or it's coming out this year. He did some voices for a video game called The Dark Eye. Oh, sorry, it got re-released this year. That's what it is. It's a 1995 game and is getting re-released this year, which is why he's listed in the credits. That makes sense. Okay. I was going to say, this is an Edgar Allan Poe interactive fiction game that's being re-released. Technically, his last role was Harry Potter Magic Awakened. So, unfortunately, it's an iPhone Harry Potter game. He did the voice of English voiceover producers. Okay, so yeah, we don't know what voices he did for that. The sentiment is why I'm seeing Jim Cummings in June. Yeah. I mean, a lot of folks out there who do this kind of work, some of whom are very active in the scene. They're out and about. They want to talk to people. They want to do the convention circuit. Some people that's not their thing. That's not their interest. So you don't see them. But if you can see them, it is nice to be able to say, "Hey, I like your work." If you can, nice to be able to say that. let's see. I don't have any stories about any layoffs today. Nobody got laid off today. There was no reporting about layoffs today, is what I'll say. There's still a bunch of other stuff. We got Xbox news. Xbox is going to rebrand as Xbox. And that's the level of, like, I don't have much else to say about that. It was capital X, B-O-X. Sorry. Yeah, and now it's going to be all caps Xbox. And I don't know why they're doing that, other than it allows people to talk about Xbox without talking about anything, like, of substance, I guess, is what that's for. I don't know. I was slightly confused about that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I don't feel like I need an opinion on it, to be honest. But all right, good luck. And then people were saying shit and being silly. And it's like, okay. Also, I think that was important to say is that you don't have to do that. Okay? You don't have to do that. If you just want to put Xbox all lowercase, you can do that. You don't have to do their marketing for them. It's kind of silly. It's just so it's just kind of a thing where you go, okay, is that really, that's what we're focusing on today? Okay. Good luck to you, I guess. All right, so I got to make sure I'm doing this one like this. Okay, so that, and then like that. All right, I think I'm doing this correctly. We'll see how I do. Putting all this stuff together. I think we're doing all of these at the same time, and then we have to go back and do the other one of this. But we can do this at the same time because they're identical, or at least mostly identical. So right now we're just doing them all at the same time here. But I didn't mention this. I'm going to stay late tonight if I need to. I'm finishing this kit tonight because it has been a long time coming to wrap this kit up. And so I'm going to wrap this kit up tonight. We're going to finish the B packs on this kit and be done with it. And so if I got to stay, I got to stay, and it's fine. I did run a poll for my $10 patrons about what I should do next, and I gave them 2 Lego options because I want to do Lego after doing this and 2 at the same time, but with differences. The 2 of the what do you call it? Zaku 2s. I'm just like, what if I had a little bit of time, not thinking about goddamn anything complicated. So I'm going to try. Okay, that goes in like that. And that goes in like that. And hopefully I have done this correctly. We'll see. So yeah, next thing will be Lego. Obviously not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a different thing. Tomorrow is be just doing a normal stream. A Hearthstone stream, actually. Because a mini set came out, and I have new decks that take advantage of some of the mini set cards, and some decks from the previous regular expansion that I still really like. And I have a standard deck that I like, which I don't often do. I don't often have a standard deck that I'm like, oh, this is a really fun one. So that's nice when I can get that. Okay. So we're now going to do a bunch of these things that have to go in here. The attack terminal. We need 4 of these here. We'll do 4 of these here. Okay. Let's do all of C first, and then we'll, or all, yeah. Okay, well, he's going here. What else can we say? Another Xbox thing. Xbox now has a new, I should say, Kotaku, in their article after this change, still capital Xbox. No, not all capped. They have not, their style guide has not been updated. So there you go. Good on you, Kotaku. Microsoft has a new user feedback portal called Xbox Player Voice. It's basically like their own subreddit. New tool replaces the cloud gaming feedback portal, and players submit ideas whether they want Xbox to evolve, and the company will provide confirmation of the status of those requests. And is probably better than people just adding Asha Sharma on Twitter. That's probably better than that. Probably. I'm not going to come out here and say it's definitively better than just tweeting, but it probably is better than just tweeting. Oh, 2 of these are 6s and 2 of these are 5s. Oh. Which one is a 5 and which one's a 6? Okay. So these are 6s. This is a 5. This is a 6. I need these later. I need these now. Okay. I almost screwed up. They had a user voice site a long time ago. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they've had a few things here and there, and then, as I said, they had the feedback portal. They've had similar things like this. This one is just more kind of robust looking and seems to be, as I said, a bit more Reddit similar to like a subreddit. Okay, so the current top requests as of the writing of this article were exclusives, followed by backwards compatibility. Yeah. Followed by make online multiplayer free to access, which is like, yeah, all right. It's what you would expect if given a voice for people to be like, hey, yeah. Multiplayer should be free and you should have exclusives. And you should always have more and more backwards compatibility. Don't give up that on the next box. The next box should also have backwards compatibility and also like give us free stuff. Okay, so Chris Clicks, no, that is not an endorsement. Wrote, online multiplayer available for all games across all generations of Xbox should be free, and all features of Game Pass into one subscription, like Xbox Gold back in the day. Which is like, yeah, it's not going to be like Xbox Gold. What are you talking about? Like that part, I'm like, yeah, no, that's not gonna. Like, I know it's nice to want things, but no. $100 Xboxes indeed. But we'll see. We'll see what comes of any of that. You know, I'm not here to do PR for Xbox, but it seems like probably an all right way to go. We'll see what happens. Okay. Speaking of multiplayer, online multiplayer costing money. Sony is raising the price of playing multiplayer games online on the PlayStation 5. ongoing market conditions is what they say, because that is the boilerplate way to say, you know what the fuck's going on with this. The monthly price of PS Plus Essential has been $10, but now it'll be $11. They increased the price $1. They probably paid someone a fuck ton of money to see how much can we increase it where enough people would just go, yeah, all right. And they said, if you increase it by $1, it'll be okay. They're like, ooh, we couldn't do $5? No, if you made it $15 a month, there'd be people that just wouldn't do it. Oh, okay, all right. $2.50? Yeah, no. Let's go for $1. Our market research says $1. People go, $11, because they don't think about it being $12 more a year. They think about it being $1 more a month. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. But if you say it's $15 a month, they probably think about that, and they have to do the math about what 5 times 12 is, and they go, oh, that's too much fucking money. Let's see. This is select regions. But if you want to pay $28, you can get 3 months. The yearly option is always the better deal. Yes, Lord Crashington. And they don't want you to do that deal. They don't want you to pay more for the yearly deal. They don't want you to do the yearly deal. They want you to do the monthly deal, because that way they make more money. But if you are going to do the yearly deal, do the yearly deal. The price change does not apply to current subscribers unless the existing subscription changes or lapse, except in Turkey and India. So that is a caveat that is important to know. If you pay $10 a month for PS Plus Essential, you are not going to have to pay. You are not suddenly going to be paying $11 a month starting. But if you have, you let it lapse, then you're going to pay. Or probably if you upgrade, you have to probably upgrade to the more pricey version. Yeah. PS Plus 12 months is $80. So yeah. The yearly price is not going up, it looks like. So if you use your PlayStation 5 consistently enough and you play enough online games, it might be worth the cost of a expensive video game to lock in that price. And if you don't. Ghost of Yotei Legends, a game that I might be reminding you exists, came out 2 months ago. And apparently has already received its last major update, which is the multiplayer co-op mode for Ghost of Yotei. Came out on March 10th. And on April 10th, it got raid mode. And that's it. Now, again, this is the add-on. This is the multiplayer add-on. It's not a separate product. But yeah, if you thought that they were going to keep updating that as a way to have people keep invested, you got it for extra library downloads. Okay, yeah, sure. But yeah, if you've been playing that game, last update came. I mean, bug fixes and stuff probably, but like major updates, that's it. The raid update was our last major planned update for Legends. It finishes the story of the Yotei 6 in that mode. We loved to see players playing it. Continue to play it and enjoy it. It's been great. The same multiplayer mode in Ghost of Tsushima received 2 major content updates. And updates for the standalone mode spanned. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, people were, I guess, expecting somewhat parity with the updates that the other mode got in the previous game, and no, not getting that parity. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Um, I don't really have much else to say. I just found that odd. Let's see. Double or Nothing. Right now, the card for AEW Double or Nothing, which is happening this Sunday, is 8 matches. No pre-show matches have been announced yet. They will most likely be happening this Wednesday. My guess is 1 to 2 matches on the main card added, so there'll be 9 to 10 matches on the main card, and 3 to 4 pre-show matches. Some might get announced that day. Some might get announced later. Just to jump back, Lord Crashton says it's not a live service game, so that's fine. Yeah, it's just that the previous game's multiplayer mode got a year of support, and this one, which was the sequel, which sold way better than the first one, is getting 2 months of support. So people who are investing in that are kind of surprised, because like I said, the previous game had a lot of stuff going on to entice people to keep playing, and now this version doesn't have that. So people were expecting the parody of it, and they did not get the parody there. So that's all I was trying to say with that. So to keep on the wrestling track here, okay, so we need C on this one, and then D on this one. Okay, yeah. And then the same thing. C and C. And I don't know how these go in. So hold on as I try to figure this out. So it looks like this, and this goes like that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna figure this out. Don't worry. It goes like that. These will go like that. But yeah, there's 8 matches on the card right now. I imagine pre-show. They might wait till the day of to announce a pre-show, because sometimes they do that as well. Okay, so I need 5 on one of these and 4 on the other side. Okay, so 5 on this side, 4 on that side. Right now, the card for that show is Okada versus Takeshita for the International Championship, which hopefully Okada is back in the States, because that was questionable if he was going to be back. So hopefully he is, and hopefully everything's going well with him. FTR versus Cope and Cage in a I Quit match. If Cope and Cage do not win this match, they must break up as a tag team. They can no longer work as a tag team. And they're facing FTR, who are the champions. So, of course, if Cage and Cope win, then they become the tag team champions. I should say, I want Takeshita to win, but I don't think he is. I think Okada is fucking winning, and because I just don't see them pushing Takeshita. I think he's going to lose because Don Callis is going to cheat for Okada. and that's going to further push him out of the Don Callis family. It just feels like that to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm foolish, and it is crazy to question that AEW's commitment to Takeshita, and they're gonna have him win in outrageous fashion. It's gonna be the fucking coolest shit. But it feels like a loss to me. FTR again. So I'm of two minds of this. If Cope and Cage have a tag match on Wednesday that they win, I think they lose. If they don't have a match or they lose a match on Wednesday, I think they win. But I just get this like feeling in my bones that shenanigans are like that, like, oh, okay, yeah, they just can't have a they can't get like a big win and then go in and also win the tag belts. So we'll see. The Stadium Stampede match is Chris Jericho, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. The Elite, Kenny Omega, Jungle Jack Perry, and Matt and Nick Jackson, aka the Young Bucks, are on one team versus The Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. Don Callis family, in this case represented by Mark Davis and Andrade El Idolo. And the Dogs, Clark Connors and Dave Finlay. David Finlay, I should say, not Dave. David. He's David. This is my piss break match. They put Jericho in the same match as the Dogs, and it's like, thank you very much, Tony Khan, for giving me the chance to stretch my legs, use the facilities. I hope this doesn't open the show. Get a snack, do whatever. I'm sure that there will be plenty of cool spots in this, but also I'm good. The only other thing I will say is, I hope this means that the Dogs are no longer feuding in any way, shape, or form with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy has suffered enough. So I hope that this is graduation from them, and they will instead focus on the Bucks. A four-way match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Tekla, Karashida, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. I have no fucking idea. I feel like Tekla shouldn't go into All In as champion, because I don't see her versus Alex Windsor making sense. Or Willow, or anyone. I don't really see it. I feel like if you were making Sheeta as someone who is becoming a heel, that if you are building Sheeta up as a heel, then you should have Sheeta pin Chris Statlander in order to win the belt. And then they feud up until it's Sheeta versus Alex Windsor. And I think that's the way to go. But I also don't see Tekla as a great champion per se. I'm really not interested in her as a singles wrestler. So it's like, she's like my third favorite person in the group that she is in, which is a group of 3 people. So I'm maybe not the best person to judge that. Samoa Joe versus Will Ospreay for the Owen Cup. Will Ospreay. Bandito versus Swerve Strickland for the Owen Hart Cup quarterfinals. Swerve Strickland. Willow Nightingale versus Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor. I was very confident that Windsor was going to win the whole thing, and then I saw his first round was against Willow, and I was like, that's going to be a good match. But I think Willow will do the honors, and I think Windsor just makes sense. Darby Allin versus MJF in a title versus hair match. If MJF loses, he must shave his head. If Darby Allin loses, he loses the world title. to me, that's it's MJF winning. I think MJF wins. I think he has a somewhat top tier guy from New Japan for and maybe a trios match. Maybe he has somebody from CMLL, you know, at Forbidden Door. But I think you put the belt on MJF. I think you build this all-in show. You build the all-in show around MJF versus Will Ospreay, which they did it in Wembley. They already did in Wembley for a different title, but do it for this one, because if you look at, if you're putting Will Ospreay in All In's main event, which I think you do, you have him win the Owen, you have him get his title shot, then you need a big heel. And you can have a babyface that's just going to fucking get booed, but put a heel in there. Put a heel that will say outrageous, stupid things about England and Will Ospreay and will get fucking beat. And I think that's MJF. I think the Darby experiment has gone better than I could have ever imagined. But I also think that it's starting to wear a little thin. And I think him beating Speedball this week is a good conclusion to it. Now, I know people want a bald MJF. And I do think that MJF is stupid enough about wrestling to shave his head for wrestling. But I think that he isn't gonna. I think he's gonna win. And I'm rooting for him to win. He'd try anything once, yeah. But I'm rooting for him to win because I don't want to see more of Darby Allin as champion. Because I'm really afraid that every time he has a match, I'm afraid that they're going to have him talk, which is bad. And I don't want them to do that. And so far, he's really only told MJF to shut up. And I think that has been good. That has been good for everybody. He just responds to people who challenge him to an open challenge, and he says, yes, I will fight you in this open challenge. And I think that has done very good for him. But I don't think that MJF is going to shave his head for professional wrestling in this time, right now. I think they just want they want to tell a story. They want people to believe it's possible. And I think that's fine. But I don't personally believe it. I also, as I said, I think MJF versus Will Ospreay is the money match. And I think other matches are not the money matches for this. So I don't know. And then you do, I don't know, Darby versus Swerve or something. I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. But. All right. So, we've got this thing here, and then we got to build the other ones. We'll do this. We're gonna put this on here and get one of these hooked up properly, and we'll be very excited about that. And then we will work on the other one of this, and then we're done with this fucking kit. And then we have to put them on. I need to put them on them, but whatever. I think actually there's probably more after that. There's probably a thing. Yeah, we have to build the thing that connects them, but those are only a few pieces. And then there's some small shields we can build, but I might not even build the Shield A and Shield B because don't have to build those to put the B packs on. Okay. All right. We'll do the connecting piece thing after the pause for the cause because that's what we need to do now. This is my opportunity, friends, to talk to you about ways that you can support me and what I do here. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You are under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to support me and the work I do here, you're more than welcome to, and I encourage it, of course, but again, optional. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build-A-Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support me and what I do here. We are currently at 22 subscribers. The goal is to get to 30. If you would like to become a subscriber, that would be rad. Love that. If you want to gift a sub, you could do that. Gifting is an easy way to support me because you're already here on Twitch. And so I would appreciate that. If you want to, you could. Let's see. There are other ways to support me financially if you're so inclined. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on the Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I would appreciate it. I get the most money from your money on Patreon. So if that's important to you, that's a way to support me. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over to my YouTube, you can, of course, you can subscribe for free. But if you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you can support me there. And basically, I have a video series that goes out every Wednesday, and you'll be able to see videos from me on Tuesday. So tomorrow, you'll get a video that other people have to wait a full day longer. If that entices you, there you go. Let's see. Those are monthly ways to support me. If you just want to throw a buck or two in the old tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can make a direct donation. Everything I make through that, through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets and equipment. And so I do appreciate that if you're considering helping me out. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I have a wish list. So this kit was sent to me by DSHS. Thank you, DSHS, for this phenomenal kit, and also the Zaku 2s that you sent. Very kind of you. If you would like to buy something for me to build, have it jump the queue and become the next thing that I work on, a way to do that is to go visit my Amazon wish list. Over on Amazon, I've got a wish list stuff with model kits and Lego sets. I have inexpensive stuff. I have very expensive stuff that never seems to go on sale, stuff that's on sale all the time. Expensive things, pretty inexpensive things, all kinds of different things and things. And if you see something there that you'd like to see me put together, you can always pick it up. And again, it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I work on and gets a dedicated video on my YouTube channel. Where I, unbox the thing and then talk about how you're great for buying me the Lego Technic bush plane and have me build a Lego Technic bush plane. You could do that, and I would build it. Be neat. Oh wait, do I already have that? I think I bought this kit and then didn't take it off my wish list. Hold on. I do. I have that kit. I'm deleting something from my wish list. Because I have it already. Oops, I forgot to take it off when I bought it for myself. If you want me to build the Battle Valkyrie from Macross, I build that. That's on my wish list. You could buy that for me to build if you wanted to. Again, you got options. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could. I have a wish list on Throne. That is my alternative to Amazon. It is nice to have alternatives. And of course, if you want to support me financially in the most convoluted and complicated way possible, you go to USA Gundam Store. You buy a gift card there. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. That is a way to help me out. That is, of course, expensive. But yeah, if you want to do that, you could. Let's see. What else can I tell you? I can tell you that I have a Discord. Love to see you on the Discord. You're welcome to join it. It's nice. Couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is all about recommending shows from the current anime season. Stuff that I think is great and worth your time. So you can watch that for that information. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. And this week, or starting, this past week, ending today, I've been recommending Flame of VerKa. It's one of my favorite 90s shonen. It's got heart and cool vibes and like great music. It's a great battle shonen. The tournament arc is really fun. There's a villainous character that isn't actually a villain and ends up joining the heroes team. It's got one of those. Cool powers. Good supporting cast. It's fun. Yeah, it's got like cool shit in it. And VerKa is that old 90s model of a kind of like cocky kid with a heart of gold. And we don't get that anymore. They're just not cocky or cocksure. They're rarely that. But yeah, I like Flame of VerKa a lot, and I recommend you check it out. And please watch my 60 seconds on it, because I'm not getting the numbers I used to get for Kuma Baer, and that is a bummer. I don't want to say this is the last year doing Kuma Baer, because I'm not getting the views that I used to get on it. But I am saying it's a bummer that I'm not getting the views that I used to on it. Yeah, even from like a couple months ago. It's a shame. Anyway, I've got some anime to recommend or to talk about here, long form. We got a new episode of Garden of the Gods, and then we've got 2 episodes of Always a Catch, because I'm finally trying to get caught up on that. Anime is not popular anymore, says Lord Crash. And yes, as everyone is saying that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting recommended to people anymore, and that bums me out. Anyway, maybe we'll panel line these to start. We'll panel line them, and then we'll go back to the overhead camera. I'll talk about some anime that I'm watching, and then we can start getting these fucking B packs together. And again, I might go overtime. We'll see. But to do that, I'm going to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera. I'm going to drink some water, and then we're going to get into these packs. And we'll do all that right now. All right, so the kids are wrong here. Yes, indeed, it's the kids who are wrong. Let's talk about some anime while I work on just doing some. I'm going to panel line these, because these don't really need panel lining. They're not really showing them, but these will. These will like a good little bit of marker. So we'll panel line them as we talk about episode 7 of Kusunoki's Garden of Gods. The last episode, we had a moment where our main character, Minato, was recalling that at age 5, he met his first yokai, who he became friends with, Warashi. And that was the first spirit that he saw. And then another yokai started picking on him at the time, named Hihi. And his grandfather was like, well, try to make friends with them. I think you can do it. And that's when he started offering sweets to various yokai and creatures. And that is where he got the sense of that. Because his father obviously was an exorcist and was filled with power. He remembers that when his grandfather passed away, a yokai attacked Minato because the protection was gone, and an exorcist happened to be traveling by and banished that spirit, and then said, "Hey, I like your handwriting," because of course Minato was doing handwriting that was that has spiritual power. That we know that got the spiritual power. And it probably was it was obvious that that exorcist recognized that Minato and his handwriting contained some kind of powers. So it was like he was aware of what was going on. And Yamagami is like, I think your abilities to seal are tied to those memories. I think that's something. So so Minato uses those memories because he's training in order to seal yokai, and manages to do so. He manages to figure out the power to seal evil spirits, which is a big deal for him. He's already got so much power, and now he's got concentrated power. Elsewhere, Haruma, who we remember is an exorcist who has been greatly helped and is trying to protect Minato's way of life. His 5 sisters, who are all exorcists, are trying to find out like where he got this talisman, who gave it to him, like who is this person. They want to know, and our guy Haruma is trying his best to like keep that shit on lock, to look out for his own peace. Haruma visits Minato and receives improved sealing talismans, which he's like over the moon for. Is very happy about that. Then another abandoned dimension absorbs Minato and Yamagami, and Minato is already kind of like still freaked out by this, but understands, oh, I'm being brought here for a reason. Finds a sword that a god is sealed inside, and then purifies it, which causes that dimension to start to collapse. Let's see. Minato gets out of the dimension and ends up right next to Haruma and his sisters, but leaves before he gets introduced to them. And that god obviously was going through some problems and has their abilities drained, so they get placed in the garden so they can recuperate. Also, the exorcist that was trying to start shit with our with Minato, like take advantage of Minato, and got punished by the gods. Chizuru, we see him again, and he's now got a phobia of bells, ringing bells, because he died so many times in Yamagami's dimension. So he has trauma, which is played for laughs, which I didn't love. I didn't love that was played for laughs. It was, and again, didn't love that. All right, so this is going like this. And then this goes like this. And then that goes like that. And then these are supposed to go out, but they don't. Oh, well, they go out like that, maybe. That doesn't seem right. Good episode. It was like very clear that this was just like 3 manga chapters that didn't really correlate too much with one another. It's like one of those things, but it was like, yeah, it was all right. All right, so it says that these go out, but these don't move, so I don't know what they mean by go out. Like these don't. I don't think they move around, so I don't know what's going on there. So we'll find out later if I did something wrong with this. But this is how this is supposed to be here, like this. And then the other end of this, of the wire, goes through XD1. XD122 is this piece. And then 7 it goes through that, goes up that, then over a little bit, and then through, and then locked into place. Okay. And that's XC7. Is this piece here. Okay. I think I'm figuring this out. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. So, this is going to go up. It's going to go through this. Which it did. And then a little bit goes over. And then this goes into here. And then this goes into here. And I think that's okay. And then I wish there was more like words. There aren't words that I would like there to be like more text here. There's lots of photos and images, but I would like there to be more text. Whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. This will slide in here like that. And then these go in. And then this turns like that. Oh no, it turns like that. What? Sorry, everybody. And then I gotta roll up the loose core. I think what's supposed to happen is that I can turn this and it will pull. Okay, it is doing it. All right, this is pulling in the cord here. All right, I did get this to work in some regard. Okay, I did get it done. I got one of the B-packs done, everybody. And then the idea is that this can like loosen and come out, and then this thing can be attached to it. But who cares, because I got it this far. I'm very happy I got it this far. Okay. So now... Oh, it was this part. Okay. And that goes down. So now... This is done until I build the little part that's going to go on there, and it'll go on the backpack. So now I need to build the same thing that I built previously. This thing I have to build the other side of, and this should theoretically go faster because I've done it before now. But of course, who can say if it will? And I am going to stay late, so I'm going to do this until I'm done with it. But while I do that, let me talk about 2 episodes of Always a Catch. We left off with Always a Catch with her going back to her hometown, Maria. Going to her family mansion after she helped some people out and found out that there is a lord on the border that was being shitty, which will come into play later, and people were escaping that situation. So she knows about that. All right, and then this needs to go. I have to make sure I put this peg piece in the right spot. So this piece needs to go where the hole is for that. All right. I think I have done this properly. And then this has to go through 4. Yes. So as I do this, I will hopefully remember how this went than I did it before, but we'll see. So our girl Maria is now remembering that it was kind of tough growing up. Again, they made the decision that she, as the youngest of the girls, because there was no male heir, she was going to become the next heir. So she had to learn martial arts because this is a family that cares very much about it, because you got to defend the region and all that. And so she spent a lot of time in her youth doing martial arts and learning about the business and stuff. And so she never really had a lot in common with the other young ladies in the out there. Hold on. This is going the wrong place. Okay. I noticed I'm doing this wrong, but luckily I noticed it now and not later. So that's good. It's got to go into this. So yeah, she has those memories about studying and not really getting along with other ladies and not having like a normal childhood. And now she got along better with the boys. But also, she didn't get along with the boys that just wanted to marry her to take over for her family. They just wanted the title. She didn't get along with those boys, of course, because those boys were dumbasses. And then she arrives and her mom's there. And also her sisters are there, her 4 sisters, and her father is mad because he is convinced that Maria has chosen a man that is weaker than he is. But also, like, dude, you had a son really late in life, and now he is. And you put your daughter in. She found somebody. She found a fucking prince, a crown prince. Like, come on, dude. You know, he's just being overprotective. But she's like, I mean, Renato outmaneuvers me, and he's so strong I can't escape his hugs, which is like fucking adorable. It's so fun to be like, father, you don't understand, he's very strong, I can never avoid his hugs. It's such a cute thing. It's very fun. And so Maria is just like, I'm going to ignore my dad and him being in a bad mood, and I'm going to go see my little brother, who they still have a good relationship. She doesn't blame him for being born for her predicament. She's pretty accepting of this being a necessary thing, which is nice. All right. So I remember this piece giving me undue amounts of fucking problems. So I am excited about this not giving me this piece not giving me problems this time. I'm going to nail it. Also, there was that nubbin that is on here that is unnecessary that I removed, and that should make things easier for this piece to go in place. I think it has. Okay. We did that. And that's like that. And then we need XB1. This was the piece that gave me problems on the other one. Like a lot of problems. So we'll see. So she meets her brother, and he says that he's not doing as well as she did at his age. He's disappointed because he can only do up to Form 18 of their family's secret martial arts, and she could do, at his age, all the way up to 25. And so she's just like, ah. And he's just like, she's like, don't worry about it. Someday you'll be just as strong as Dad is. You don't have to worry about that. It'll all be okay. All right, so we're gonna do this. We gotta twist this up. We gotta put on. Okay, so wait, we're on. Wait. No. This. Okay, so we're like this. And then we gotta pull it down so it's like this. Okay, so that's where we want to go. And then we gotta put on XB6. Let's see what else happened in this episode. Oh, okay. So these two countries don't have a peace treaty. So the father is, Dad is very worried that she isn't strong enough to be able to protect herself in that country. So he wants to have a duel with her, to make sure that she's ready. Which is just like, again, overprotective father stuff. Because like, come on, Dad. Like, you know how fucking strong she is. You know this is gonna work out. Like, you're just being an overprotective father, which is nice, but it's also like, come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. What are we doing here? It's a draw, and so he concedes. Okay, you're strong enough to survive on your own and make this work. So that is like as close to a blessing as really he's gonna give. But you know he's excited about it. He says also the best he can do is he won't be too mean to her fiance when they meet. Let's see. The assistant lets Renato know about the farmer issue that was going on. And so Renato goes to Navarro, which is the place where those villagers were coming from. The ones that pose as bandits because they were hoping to get arrested so they could go to the capital and plead for what's happening because they're just dealing with such bullshit. Okay, so this is the part that I managed to do this successfully this last time. But I have no idea if I'll be able to do it successfully this time. I want it to work. I want to be able to put this wire through and have it all work out. So we'll see if I can do it, but I don't know. Let's see. How does this goes like this then? No. We'll go like this. It's so funny that I'm like, I don't remember how this works, and I've already done it before, but I just don't remember how this goes in. I think it goes like this. And it goes down this one. That doesn't seem right. Problem is I can't really see how this works on this side. I probably should have, like, before all this got put on, I probably should have remembered how this works, but I didn't do that. All right, I feel like this must go like this. Then Is it like this? Come on. Oh yeah, so the fiance is gonna go and deal with this shitty lord, and then he's kind of hoping that while he's dealing with that, maybe he gets a chance to see his fiance. So he's gonna go and help out and do his duty, but then also maybe get a chance to see his lady. Okay, so I think it has to go like this. I think that's what it is, and it goes through this hole here. I think this is how it goes. Sorry, everybody. I know this is riveting, but I don't remember how this works. So it's gonna kind of show me on this side. Kind of. Let's go like that. Oh, it goes like this, maybe? That's how it goes. Like, I don't want to mess this up because then I'm going to have to deal with it and fix it like a bunch. You know what I mean? No, I mean, does it go like down like here? Would that work? Maybe that's it. Hmm. Man, I don't remember how this part works, and it's really frustrating me. Sorry. This is very frustrating. We are so close to being done with this goddamn kit. All right, so goes like this. This is how it's to go. And this goes like that. This goes in here. And then this piece, place the wire through this section. But I don't remember what section that is. And then eventually, the wire will go through. And then this goes like up. And then like swings down. Like that. Okay, so it ends up like this. This piece is going to end up like this, which makes sense. But I don't know where this cable goes through to make that make the most sense. It has to go down. So it has to go down into here. So I'm going to do straight down. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try like this. Okay, so I did straight down like that. And then it goes up and over. That. This does not seem right. This does not seem correct. Go like that then. Okay, this seems right. Okay. All right, I think I've done this correctly now, and then it can go up this way. Okay. I think this is correct. We'll find out, unfortunately, way later if I have fucked this up, but I think I have not fucked this up. I think I have done this properly. This kit is so great, but also such a fucking nightmare. It's such a goddamn nightmare. All right, let's keep working on this. Episode 7 of Always a Catch. We are now going to get caught up on the show. Finally, I started the show late in the season. I've even had these episodes done, but through various shenanigans, finally getting a chance to say what happens in this episode. Maria's mothers and sisters are happy that they have seemingly patched things up, that her dad is kind of figuring out what's going on here and how to respond to it. Which means they're back to where they are, not ignore each other, constantly fighting against one another, constantly doing battles. That is their love language, and they are showing their love language. And that is a fun reveal that they are all very excited that these two are battling again, or once again, and are not letting that come between them, which is cute. That is a fun little reveal. Let's see. Maria visits Navarro and finds out that the chief's daughter, who again we don't know what happened to her, she was last seen getting into Nardi's carriage. That is the Count. Those bandits, the former bandits who are just farmers, are seen arguing with the guards of Nardi, and the villagers are like, we're not giving you these our crops. They're like, it's a spice that smells pleasant when flowering but stinks the rest of the time. And you're like, okay, that's going to be important later at some point. Sure, we'll put a pin in that. All right, so I need 20 and 23. XD20 is here. XD23 is here. Three on that side. And then we connect those together. Okay. So let's see if I can get this all together while talking about this episode of the anime. I do remember that these just barely fit in here until they're connected. And so they're kind of annoying that way, because they're meant to slide around. And this is also barely connected. All of this is incredibly fragile until we get this whole thing together. So I think I'm actually going to put these on this side, because this is the more stable side. And we'll try to do it like that. I think when I did the other one, I had to like kind of really take my time with it and get it like partially on and then get everything locked in, if I remember correctly. And that this was not fun to do. That was the other part that I remember. Doing all this was not pleasant to put together. Oh, yeah, you can see already everything falling out and apart. This step sucks. We go to the inside. But we'll get it. We'll figure this out. We'll get it together and figure it out, and it'll be fine. So let's get those done. Also, this wire is like fighting me the whole way, which is great too. Okay, so let's see. Maria infiltrates the mansion and finds out that the Count has been in the capital for 2 months. So it doesn't look like he did kidnap Veronica, the chief's daughter. So something else is going on here, pretty obviously. Pretty obviously, something else is going down. Maria locates Veronica, and Veronica is with Hugo, who is Nardi's son. And apparently, there are more issues here. She wasn't kidnapped. She's just with the guy that she wants to marry. Hugo and our girl Veronica want to get married, but another count is insisting that Hugo marry his daughter in exchange for buying crops. So that is so there is more going on here, but we do have a lovelorn situation as well, a star-crossed lovers thing, if you will. There is more at stake than just a shitty guy who also is definitely shitty, but is not apparently, at least in this case, also a kidnapper. Where did that piece just go? I found it. Let's see. Actual bandits show up, and they are trying to steal crops to sell directly to this other count. But the villagers stand up for themselves, and then the bandits' boss shows up, and he is a large man. He is a giant. Renato shows up with his knights to help out, which gives our girl Maria an opportunity to immediately knock out this dude. She could have handled this shit on her own. She doesn't need her fiance to help her out, but she does welcome it. Immediately knocks out this guy. And then one of the bandits tries to attack Renato, our prince, but he reveals that he's been studying the martial arts of his fiancée Maria, and he's memorized some of it. And he punches the guy out, sends him flying with a punch to the jaw. And then the episode ends with Renato's assistant traumatized by the fact that Renato just used violence and used his royal fist to attack someone, even though it was justified. And it's a cute little like, ha ha ha. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. I think there's going to be more grand reveals here, but in general, I thought this was a fun episode of Maria getting involved in stuff she doesn't really need to be involved in, but because she's a good person, she will. God, this is fucking driving me nuts. I remember this step on the other side being a nightmare, and then this is also a nightmare. It is a dual nightmare here. All right, so this, I can't figure out how this connects. I'm just gonna try to piece this together. This is a track. This goes on a track here. Does this go into these holes here? Yeah, okay, so this is going to go... And again, this is now covered up with lots of plastic, so I can't really see it, which is frustrating. While I struggle with this, I would love to hear from you. What are you playing right now? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about those things and things. We got time now to talk about it while I struggle with this fucking part of this kit. So I would love to hear from you about that. If you got anything going on, anything you're excited about, you're looking forward to, any of those things, I always love hearing from you about them. So feel free to let me in on what's going on with you. I didn't really do much yesterday. I watched some wrestling with some friends Sunday night. That was good. I did buy a new SSD. I bought a 1 terabyte SSD that is way faster and has double the memory of my previous SSD. It is a solid state SATA connection, and I am going to use that. And that will be added into the setup I don't know when. I think I'm going to wait till Wednesday to do it because I need to clone my operating system and clone the drive, copy and clone it, and then take out the old one and then put the boot order and then make the new drive the boot drive. And it's going to take a while to copy things over. And you know what? A lesser Pat, a Pat from a different time in a different place, a different Pat Baer would have thought about doing that and come to the conclusion that I should do it as soon as possible, instead of the more thoughtful version of Pat, who says, what if I did it on Wednesday when I don't have a stream that night? What if I'm not constantly worried about things not working out? Now, I could tomorrow, if I wanted to, put the new hard drive in. I could install the new hard drive, and I could even copy things over if I wanted to do that. But I don't want to do that. I want to you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do all that. I want to not have to really worry about it. So I think I'm going to do that on Wednesday. Yeah, I think Wednesday's the day to do it, and not tomorrow. Okay, so I bought this cable here. That fell out immediately. This is so fucking frustrating. This kit is worth all of the headaches. It is worth all the headaches. But I also don't recommend it as a master grade. I think it looks gorgeous. But so much of this kit is driving me fucking crazy that I can't recommend anyone work on it. Because it's so fiddly. It's fucked in so many ways. Okay, I think I've got it close to being on. I now need to get this part in and to stay in place. And then I can press down on it. I need this part in. And then I need the other part in. Why make it your boot drive and not one for data or running games? Asked Lashberg. One of the bottlenecks on my computer right now is my boot drive. It is the M2E slot on this. It is a known issue that the M2E slot on this motherboard is not great. And the drive is because this is a pre-built. The drive is not particularly that fast. So some of the issues I've had on this computer have been that. Also, I want to store things on it. I want to store things on my C drive. I want to have things on my C drive. And there are things on this. So the current M2E that is my boot drive is not up to snuff in any way, shape, or form. So I have made the decision that I am going to replace it. And then it will become the backup. It will become just a data only for long-term storage. I won't have to write to it a lot and rewrite to it a lot. I'm just going to put things on there that I want to access now and again. I have made that decision. That is what's going to happen there. So, but I still need to clone the drive. Lord Crash says, I watched Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me alongside Next Letter Watchcast, which was good and also equally horrifying. Yeah, man, that's a rough piece of media. It's very good, but it's also tough. I definitely wasn't expecting David Bowie's role to be all that. I'm watching all the missing pieces. Next, we're starting The Return. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're keeping up with it. I hope you're having a good time with it. I do think Fire Walk With Me is fucking a phenomenal piece of media, but also is a lot. Yeah. All right, then I need XD2. 17. I apologize if I've gotten kind of snippy tonight. This kit is Frustrating. This is a frustrating kit. There are just elements to it that I find unbelievably frustrating, and I'm trying to not let that get to me too much, to not be an asshole while I am building, but it has been occasionally, this thing is pissing me the fuck off. I think I have now done all of the annoying parts of this build. I think that I have now completed all of the annoying things, but I don't remember, which is a bad beat there, but I think I have done all of the particularly frustrating elements of this build. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah, that's right. This doesn't look right because there's a piece that has to go on it later. XA3 has to go on there, which is a cap. And so then it will look right when I put the cap on. But it doesn't look right now. So 3 goes on there, and then 9 and 8 go on. I'm trying to think, is this the worst kit you've worked on, or just one of the worst? So obviously, Lord Crashington, worst is subjective. There was, early in my streaming, I worked on, I can't remember what brand had it, but it was a Optimus Prime model kit. That sucked. Every part of that felt awful, and it was bad to work on. There are a couple real grades, early real grades, that felt bad to work on and didn't quite look right, and those were frustrating. This kit, I don't think this is like one of the worst kits I've ever built, but it is one of the more frustrating kits. And I think frustrating is the correct word for this thing and how I feel about it. It is a frustrating effort. It is requiring, it is trying my goddamn patience consistently over and over and over again to make things work. But it's not the worst kit I've built. Because also, some other kits that were bad also looked bad or didn't work as a kit or fell apart. There are kits that have transformations that don't work right, and it was just frustrating mess. This kit fucking rules. It's just a pain in my goddamn ass. So it is more frustrating than anything else. It's a frustrating build, but it's not a bad time because at the end of the day, the kit looks goddamn rad. So I can only be so upset about it. All right, we're now at the part where we can get these together, and then we'll get the little piece we need to get together to connect everything, and then we'll be done with this. So we need D22. XD22, which we are. Is that going to be on this one then? XD22, great, got that. Goes on there. So we are at least getting to the point where we can start putting this together, which is awesome. But if anybody else has anything they want to chat about, anything they've been playing or working on or anything like that, let me know. Yeah, I didn't really do a lot this weekend. As I said, I watched a lot of wrestling, which was very good. Had a good time with that. And I'll have more wrestling this weekend because I got the pay-per-view, so I'm excited about that. Yeah. There's always something. There's always some stuff going on, which is always nice. Okay, so we do this. We put that on there. We put this on here to lock that in place. And then we've got to take this piece, turn this like that, or turn this like that. Open this up some, which it never really wants to do, so I think I definitely did that wrong. But we can also pop this down, pop this down, and then pop this like this to connect it. Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta push all this through. Oh wow, this doesn't. I did do something wrong here because this is not. Oh no, there it is. Okay, I was like, oh shit, did I really do something wrong here? I didn't. It is coming through. Last week says still real big on Valheim. Took a lot of work to get my mountain retreat built. Got a nice open air hot tub. Nice. Just need to work on decorating it. Speaking of the Watchcast, I watched Class Action Park. That's a fuck that documentary. Jesus, which is interesting and horrifying, but it feels like they mismanaged the tone because the one family of person who died there talked about their experience somehow feeling completely out of place. Also watched the new Running Man, which I'd rather enjoyed, except for the very end of it. I have not seen the new Running Man. I am interested in seeing that. So Action Park, a thing that I know tonally you say it didn't feel right. A thing that like maybe it will help with this or help you with this is that I don't even know if this will help you. It is very New Jersey. Like, Action Park is in many ways a very good representation of New Jersey in that people still have pride for it. It's fucked. That place should not have been open as long as it was, especially considering how many people got injured and critically injured there and all of that. Like, it should not have existed as long as it did in the state it was, or the state, not the state of it living like it's saying. But also, it was the place that people went to and they liked it. And an element, I am not saying this about all people from New Jersey, but there is an element of Jersey that is like, fuck you. I'll fucking, I don't care. You don't tell me I can't be on the dangerous place. Action Park is a microcosm of an element of some people from New Jersey, and it is in many ways a excellent representation of some of that vibe, some of those folks, and their attitude. So, like, in some ways, it is one of the most Jersey things possible is Class Action Park, just focusing on Action Park as a place. It is, you know, tonally, and also tonally, some, like, especially South Jersey is also tonally a fucked up place with a fucked up vibe. Like, it is that as well. Okay, these two things connect. We'll get those together. Holy shit, we're approaching the finish line. There are some shields that we could build that I don't care about. I don't care about those little shields. I think I said that before. Those are for, like, if we want to have these being separate, they have their own little shields, but we don't need to put those in. All right, so now we got to build the connector pieces, which is XD2. XD2 is this. Oh, I can see the finish line, folks. I am excited about the finish line. XD2. Again, we're going overtime because I don't want to work on this kit on Thursday. I want to finish it tonight. So we're finishing it tonight. 28 and 27. A reminder for folks that my next stream will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Hearthstone had a mini set come out, and I really like it. The meta has kind of shifted a little bit. It is there are some fun hunter decks now that are kind of fun to play, especially in standard. I have a standard deck I like, and they didn't nerf either of my wild decks that I like, which is crazy that they didn't nerf either of the decks that I thought would get nerfed. So I still have my warrior deck that I really like to play. And I still have my hunter deck that is a pain in the ass to play against. And then I also have a wild druid deck, a big druid deck, because there are some cards that really help with the big quest druid. So I've been playing those decks, and I'm liking them. Okay, so this goes into this. That doesn't seem right. This goes into this. That does seem correct. Okay. And then this goes in. That. Yes. Okay. And then in XD24, we are so close, my friends. But yeah, I'm having a good time in Hearthstone, and so I wanted to show off some silly decks that I have. And you know, you can see me get salty, because that's just how I be. All right. So this is gonna go basically surround this. Is that right? No, it doesn't seem right. Sorry, everybody. I was like all set to be like, I got this. This is just going to go together really quick and nice and easy. And then I'm like, what do you want from me? Oh, you go like this. I got it now. There's an element of these instructions that I was not understanding, and now I am understanding them. I am annoyed that I've said that so many times on this build. Where I was like, oh, that's what you want me to do. Got it. Okay, and then we need XB9 and XB3, which are the last pieces of this, I believe. Okay. XB9. XB3 goes in first. And that's this. Okay. And then this one goes on here. Okay. And then there are those little shields I don't care about. And then this goes up. And then... Okay, so... Excuse me. Incorporating the following parts of pieces. K11 part, narrative Gundam B-Packs, not silver manual. Okay. Basically, the VerKa, I have to like change a thing in the backpack. So I don't remember how this works, but I have to like... This backpack needs changes made to it before we can move on. And I'm not 100% sure how that works. So I need XD1 and XD4, or XD1 and XD1. All right, yeah, this is basically the backpack needs to be adjusted because in the VerKa version, and so I am going to adjust that with a few new parts here, and that will make it so that I can put this backpack down. This looks like this. And then this has got to go in here. Okay, and that goes in like that. And then this piece needs to connect to... C10. I want to say is this piece here. Sorry. So, yeah, I don't have anything for this to lock into, which I need. So, I'm going to take these off for a second here. And then this comes out. And this comes up. And then I think I have to take this piece off and swap it. Which I'll say, I wish they had just told me. In the same way that doing all the clear parts at the end really annoyed me, doing this now also really annoys me. So basically I need to take this piece off somehow. I can take these off and just deal with them later so they don't pass me off. But I need to take this piece out and swap it, which is like, why didn't I just do it the first time? And then if I take that and swap those like that, and then put these here, and then put this back in here, like that, close that up. And then this gets stuck and doesn't want to work. There it goes. Okay. So now this theoretically will go in here. I should just take these off. Just going to take these off. This will go in here. Yes, that does go in there. And now we can put the B-Pack on the model kit and we can be done. Push in, slide down, B-Packs. And we can take all this stuff off and put all this stuff aside. So much that, and again, there are little shields I can put on the arms if I wanted to, and I don't care about those shields, so I'm not going to. And yeah, and it can go like this as well. If you want it to be like this, like low, you can do that. Or you can do the higher one, which we'll probably do because it's on the stand, so we might as well do it. And you can do open like this if you want to do that, which we will. We'll open them up. So that's cool. Now I'm going to turn it so you can see better what this thing fucking looks like now that it's completed. Here it is. I'm going to go on its side. I'm going to turn it on its side here. This is the Narrative Gundam Master Grade B-Packs VerKa. It has the clear pieces. It has the B-Packs, or the backpack. It is a large friend. It is on this stand, and it is weighty on this triple stand. It looks fucking cool as shit. It was a pain in the ass to build. I'm glad I did it. It's been 84 years. Yeah. I want to see. Oh God, I want to see. All right. So hold on 1 second before we wrap things up. Even though we did go over, I should have looked this earlier. I started the narrative Gundam on May 1st. No, sorry, I posted that on May 1st, which means I started on April 30th. I have done 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th stream. I did 9 streams of this build. That is so many streams. It is one of the longest times. The perfect grade took longer, but that might be the perfect grades I've done. The 2 perfect grades I've done, it might have been the longest builds I've ever done. That one early on when I did that 2011 Lego Star Wars Millennium Falcon, that took forever. I don't think that took 9 streams. This took fucking forever. It's awesome. I'm glad that it's over. Thank you for joining me for this journey. We're going to go raid. I'm going to go find somebody doing cool shit out there that we want to go spend some time with. That's a fancy robot. Yeah. So I'll go back to this just to wrap this up. The VerKa, the clear parts of this are the parts I hated the most because the instructions were not good. I think the narrative Gundam Master Grade is totally worth building. I think if you want to build the narrative Gundam Master Grade, just get the regular one. Don't get the VerKa, because I think the VerKa parts are the worst. Unfortunately, you did come in right at the end, but I'm happy you're here. And we are going to go on a raid. We're going to go find some people doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. But yeah, this kit is fantastic, but I'm glad it's over because it's been a long build. So we always end with a raid. Which we of course will do here. We'll go find somebody doing cool stuff on a Monday night and go spend some time with them. As I get this ready, we're going to go check out Mary Kish, who's playing Dungeon Crawler. And hopefully Mary's having a great time. We'll go hang out with Mary Kish, who rules. I ran the demo of Dungeon Crawler, and I thought it was pretty fun. So I'm glad that Mary's playing it, and I hope she's having a good time with that. We'll go see what she's doing. And then a reminder that my next stream is tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will be working on playing some Hearthstone. It's a Tuesday night. I'm going to play some Hearthstone and show off some new silly decks. And then on Thursday, I start a retro telephone Lego set. It is a 3-in-1 of different kinds of phones. And that's going to be very chill compared to this nonsense. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you come along in the raid. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.